Hello crafters, it's Tracy from We Craft at Home, and I thought today was the day I would show you how to make your own screens to do screen printing. It is very simple. I'm going to show you this design. I was trying to find a pretty generic one that's okay for everybody, so I thought I'd do a pajama one. So I'm just going to move it all to the side and then I can show you how very simple it is. Actually, I'll group it. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything out like I've done before. So we'll start off with the words. Obviously, press the text button and caps lock on for me. Good, it's the wrong font. I can change the font. Good. Night. For some reason, it doesn't allow you to enter and write underneath. So for each single line you do, you have to start again. Okay, I'm just going to change the font. Okay, so now we've got the correct font. I'm just going to put it close together and I'm going to make sure it's centered. There we go. And I want it a lot bigger. I think that's about good actually. And now we're going to do the other, which one I've got to change the font back again. So good night. Take the caps lock off and we're going to do sleep tight, but obviously we're changing the font back to the previous one. Now I'm just doing this for good measure because I'm not sure. I can do it a bit bigger than that. I think that's about good. Okay, and then we'll just finish the last text so we're done with that. Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bedbugs bite. And that I want coming down a little bit because I want that to be the less obvious one. So now what we're going to do, we're going to get sleep tight and we're going to offset it at 12. Oops, do you know? See, I missed a step. So first of all, we have to weld it. Now we can offset it. Sorry about that, guys. Don't know why it hasn't gone together. It doesn't matter much. So what we're going to do is the offset we're going to put over there and then we're going to center it. I think that looks about right. So then what you do is you grab them both and subtract. Okay, and then you remove these two. And what it does, it takes out the letters. So it looks a complete mess right now, but as soon as you put in the words, it does make sense and you can see the whole phrase. What I'll do, if I just colour it so you can sort of see. And then we'll do this one in a, I don't know, red. Let's do a deep red. So you can see on the t-shirt it will stand out, and you can see that it says good night, sleep tight. I like putting words inside words. I don't know if any of you have ever tried it before, but I like what it does. Okay, so we've got that. And then just in the shapes, I want a circle. And then I love this star. You might prefer the other ones. So I just want a few stars around. Do one there. We'll do one up here. Do another one. 3 stars I think is enough. So we'll do one down here. Now circle. Let's make it a little bit smaller. We're going to duplicate that. And we're going to get a crescent moon. Now, can you see there? That's what we want. So you make sure the top circle is what's being taken away. The bottom circle that's not covered by the top one is what's being left. So click both and subtract, and I'll show you what I mean. You get left with the circle, but okay, so we want this bit. There we go. Let's get you lot out the way. And I just think a nice moon there. There we go. And there, it's just, you know, a simple little thing that can go on some pajamas. I think that needs to come in a little bit, actually. You really don't want to get too close to the edge when you're doing your screen printing. You want enough room. If you've got a screen sensation, I have, then although it says it's 12 by 12, it's more like 11 by 11. So you have to be really careful. It's not great. Now I'm going to just group it all. We're going to get rid of the circle. And before we go anywhere further, we need to flip it. When you're doing words onto a t-shirt, you need to flip what you're doing. So we've done that. So once we've flipped it, all we have to do now is send it over and cut it out. Doesn't matter what colour it is because we're using paints underneath it. The tricky bit now is to get the right bits taken off. So when you're weeding this, you have to weed the words because that's what you want showing up on the t-shirt. So you imagine what you want to see on the t-shirt is what you've got to take off when it comes to a screen. So we've got to take out the stars, the words and the moon. Okay, now when you're doing heat transfer vinyl, please remember you are putting shiny side down and cutting out on the matte side. And remember, if you've got an SDX, you're doing half cut. If not, you want to do it on about a -1 pressure to maybe a 1 on the blade. That's what I used to do it on mine, but obviously test it to see what yours is like and check it out. Okay, so we'll go and cut that out and I'll see you on the other side. So we're over here at the craft table. I've cut mine out. I know you can't see it, but I wanted to weed it with you so that I could tell you. It's not like when you're using the heat transfer to actually put that direct onto the t-shirt. When you're making your screen, what you need to cut out is what you want on the screen, so it's kind of the opposite. So because we want the
good night, the moon, the stars, that's what we've got to take off, so that when the paint goes through, that's what it paints. So it is completely the opposite. That's why I wanted to go through it with you, because it can be confusing. So we need to keep the whole square. If you don't have a Screen Sensation kit, then you can always use like maybe a photo frame or something. You don't have to do it this size, you can do it any size you like. If you don't use the Screen Sensation, maybe a photo frame, or just if someone can knock you together 4 bits of wood in the size you want, that's all it takes. I don't use their tape either. I just use normal masking tape. Because their tape is very expensive. Just like this, well, I think, yeah, it's all pretty expensive, but I'm always looking for ways to save money. Okay, so you're taking out the dainty letters, so be very careful and make sure you leave the middle of the letters in. It's a lot easier than doing the sorry, I'm concentrating. It's a lot easier than doing the heat transfer direct onto the t-shirt, because you can you only have to, say you're doing a number of t-shirts. Like me, I want to do pyjamas for my grandchildren. I've got 4 grandchildren. I only have to do 1 screen. If I was doing it with the heat transfer, I'd have to do this 4 times. The screen's reusable, it washes. And you've got more choice of colours with paints, I feel. Well, I have anyway. It's coming off a lot easier than when I was doing it the other way round. As long as you can see it, that is. Sometimes it is really difficult to see. So as you can see, I've cut it all out. That's it the right way round. So the colour will only go on the clear bits. I've been heating my heat press up so it's ready. I know we haven't all got a heat press, but I recently treated myself to one. I used an iron before that and it was absolutely fine. Now this is the mesh. The one I got, I was advised to get, was 48T is the size. So you get like 3 meters, I think, for like a £5 or something like that, £10. For I'll put a link up. There's Amazon or eBay. I'll put them both up for you. I'm just going to cut a square. Let's get it right. I'm going to do it a little bit bigger just so that I know I'm spot on. There we go. Okay. That was some very poor cutting, but still. Okay, now I'm just going to see if I can get you over. There's my heat press. So it's been heating up. Actually, I wonder if I could. So what I do first, just make sure you can see me. Mine's one the way you swing it out. I'm just gonna, should have pulled it out a bit first, I guess. It all come out. There we go. And then that will swing round like that. Put this on first, because what I'm going to do is just give it a quick press on its own. Just for a few seconds, because it doesn't need long. Okay, and then you're doing this so the shiny side is up. So the writing is facing you the right way. You can see it the right way. And we're going to stick it on top of there. Just make sure I've got it all on there. That's alright. Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to push it down and press the timer. Now mine's always timed on 15 seconds. Probably don't need that long for one of these, but I'll do it anyway. There we go, see. So it's very hot. Okay, let's come back. Wrong way now. Very good camera skills, don't you reckon? There we go. Okay, and then all you're going to do is peel the plastic off. And the whole rest of it stays on there. If it starts coming off, you just heat it a little bit more. If you haven't got a heat press and you're using an iron, you need to iron it for about 2 minutes on the back. That's the only thing. It does take a little longer, but it does work. Okay, and there is your screen. So all we have to do now is trim round the netting, and then it's ready to use onto, I'll use the Screen Sensation board, but like I said, it's easy to make your own boards. I just haven't, because I already had the Screen Sensation one. And I've got 2 different sizes of that, so let me just get it. Now I should say now, it's well used, it's very dirty, but excellent. That I don't use the actual unit it comes in, because I find that hinders me quite a lot. Okay, as you can see, I've got the Screen Sensation frame to use. I'm just going to stick it down. I have tried it a couple of times just to make sure it's okay. So, like I said, I use normal masking tape, and what you need to do is stick it as tight as you can. If it's baggy, the paint will leak through, and you don't want that. I've done this one a bit too small as well. I've done it at 10.5, but didn't like it. It's just a tight, it's like probably the exact size of the screen, so which kind of means that one of these stars is not going to fit on, which is a shame. Just there we go. Make sure you don't get the tape over what you want to paint, and then if you want to cover something so it doesn't get done, use the masking tape. Like I said, I just use normal masking tape. I don't really think there's that much difference, myself personally. I'm just going to cover the star because I don't want half a star on there. So every time you put it on, you just pull as tight as you can. A little bit fiddly, but seems to be a bit. Don't know what's going on there. seems to have got a bit baggy, pinched almost. There we go, that's better. If you don't get it straight on, then it's not going to print like you want it to. That's the only thing. You have to make sure you do it as well as you can. Okay, let's do one side at a time. So that's that side done. That's the middle. And that's the other side. That's better. Okay, I'm going to use a bit of card this time, and I'm going to put it in the unit. You can see how clean it is because I don't use it, but I will put it in the unit. Just so as you can see. It's tough because I don't use it. Okay. I'll just do it one colour, just so that I can show you what it's like. So I'm using the indigo blue. Oh, here we go. Royal purple. Do not wash any of these in hot water, because remember, these are heat set paints. So it will set it onto your mat. That looks like enough, but just to be safe, I'm sure you've seen plenty that you've got to put your fingers far enough apart and just pull. I can see it's missed some spots. Okay, and the big reveal. There we go. Can you see it? So you can just do it again and again and again, and just keep going. It's not like the heat vinyl where you have to just keep weeding and doing it however many times you want to do it. So if you've got loads of t-shirts you want to do, this is definitely the easier way, and it's quicker. It's even easier to weed as well. So this is my preferred way, but obviously different people like different things. So now I've shown you the two ways. I hope you have a go and enjoy yourself, and I'd love to see what you do with it, because you can design whatever you like. Okay, thank you, and I'll speak to you soon.